know it kills you inside. That's why I do this for you.
I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for
all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside. That's why I do this for you.
I do this for the kids who sit a bit outside the mix, who maybe cope through humor just to fit in for a bit, who never let the world know when depression's setting in. To all of those who know you, that impression don't exist, and it ain't counterfeit, it's just a way to counter it. I'm living things I dreamed about, I still encounter it. It ain't something that a cigarette or alcohol can fix, but all because of it I flipped it quick, went on to write some hits. This a success off another breath. This the first step in searching to be nothing less than be the best in what you do, to prove their strength in being you. Learn so much in chasing dreams that I never would in school. Depends on where your passion lie, just no passion never lie. Life presents distractions, but your actions have to fortify the things that you believe in. Have to scream it like a battle cry, and leave the ones who didn't looking stupid while they're asking why. Couldn't lie, I really do this for the ones I love, those who treat the music as a vice and lyrics like a drug, those who need advice on how to lift their spirit high enough to break out of the box they make up lives they know aren't good enough. Just because it's how it is don't mean it's how it has to be. This is what the uninspired testifiers fail to see. Jealousy results from being that which others fail to be, and if it means you're not with me, that honestly sounds fair to me.
I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for
all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside. That's why I do this for you.
Do this for my mother, she'll be working for the summer. Do this for my father, cause these days I often wonder what my life would have been like if I was not adopted, to grow up in a home where I was treated like a problem. I don't know, it's just a guess. Your guess probably good as mine. Lucky that I grew up in a home that wanted me to shine. Lucky that I grew up around some mountains we were taught to climb. Without that inspiration, I don't think that this would be my life. Do this for my friends who've scattered all across the country now. I'm out in Sweden walking back through life so I can write it down. Make a living off the sound, so crazy to say out loud. I'm the biggest thing since Travis Rice to come up out the town. Sorry, gotta stunt a little. Used to have my dreams belittled, but it's all a part of it. I know people's minds are fickle, lines between reality and dreams I blur like faded nights. Come up been so good for me, I wish that I could make it twice.
I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for
all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside. That's why I do this for you.
What up, y'all? Shout out to my pops. I do this for you. What up to everybody out there? Guys, it feels good to be me. Doing a lot of errands, getting things done. Just getting ready for the show today. I was in such good spirits. I sat there and I prepped for like an hour today. And it wasn't really on the show. I'm working for the MVPs in my off time and my non-camera time. I'm putting in that work so the MVPs can get the best product possible. Shout out to all the MVPs out there. One thing I wanted to say to everybody is, as I get my software prepared here, somebody's in the chat asking how to become an MVP. There's just no way you're still asking that. There's a video that plays once you go to my homepage on YouTube. There's a pinned video on TikTok. If you don't know how to be an MVP by now, you just don't want to be one. That's the only way I can think of it. I don't know what's going on. They probably put warning labels on food for guys like you. Warning labels on cans of paint. I don't get it. I've made it as dummy-proof as possible. I'm tired of explaining it. Somebody always has to convince me or remind me, Rico, don't ever get tired. Just keep explaining it. Get the out of here. All right. You guys aren't going to hold me hostage. Not for $25. Speaking of holding people hostage, shout out to Dame Lillard. He just got traded. Mr. 32 points himself. Mr. 32 points and no playoffs himself. He is the epitome of empty stats, guys. This guy goes out there, gets his stats, hits the studio, hits one or two verses, and calls it a day. I think he's a rapper pretending to be a basketball player. He knows nothing about winning pedigree. He doesn't make people around him better. He just doesn't. Shout out to McCollum. Like, for me, this guy's going to go pair up with some dude named the Greek Freak. I can't watch these guys play basketball. They said he got traded to Milwaukee Bucks. First thing I did was said, hey, yo, how's Vin Baker doing? First thing I said, how's Vin Baker? Nobody knew who the hell I was talking about. I didn't know what to say. Anyways, Drew Holiday's going to get traded. They ain't sticking him around. They got the Portland Trail Blazers, got Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, and some guy named Kamara. Now, let me tell you something. They said they're going to trade Drew Holiday to a contender. How are you not a contender? We're in the offseason. How are you not a contender? How do you concede that you're not a contender? That's nuts to me. That's bananas, bro. Shout out to the Suns for getting Grayson Allen. If you guys don't remember, Grayson Allen is an all-time tripper. Grayson Allen will trip you in a heartbeat. Hey, Fafo. F around and find out. That dude's tripping all day. The rest of these dudes, man, I could walk past them. If I walk past one of these guys, I would say, damn, dude, you're tall. Do you play basketball? Because I don't know who the hell they are. I wouldn't know who they were if I was passing them in the street. I was like, man, you look kind of tall. You look pretty tall for bagging groceries. The hell are you doing? Yep, that's these guys. What a trade. What a trade of nonsense. Speaking of nonsense, how is Mikey Williams still on the Memphis basketball team? He's on the website and the basketball team. If you guys don't know, Mikey Williams is a 5-star basketball player, supposed to go play for Memphis. Is Anthony Hardaway still coaching that team? Is Penny still coaching Memphis? He has no standards for who he recruits. He doesn't care. He'll cheat his way to the top, and he'll go get all these guys. And we got Mikey Matthews here. If you don't know, he got 5 felony charges for firing a gun at a car full of people that were trying to leave his house. I don't care what they did to you, bro. You can't fire a gun at a car full of people. That's like attempted murder or something. What is it? What are the charges? 5 charges or something. You know what's crazy? This is the craziest part. He had millions of followers on Instagram and TikTok before he deleted his accounts following the arrest. Let me tell you what you don't want to do, bro. You don't want to delete your Instagram and TikTok if you got millions of followers. That's a meal ticket. Because basketball is not your meal ticket. You're not ever going to play basketball. Not shooting guns at people. Not with these felony charges. And shame on Memphis for even, they said, well, he's taking online classes. He hasn't come to the university. He hasn't utilized our athletic facilities. He's just taking online classes. Is he paying for them? Or is he on scholarship? Pled not guilty. He'll be arraigned on the 10th of October. Okay, buddy. I say his season's over before it ever began. Speaking of season being over, shout out to Connor Wegman. His foot is out. He's got a foot problem. Some of you sick bastards got foot problems too. Anyway, so he's done for the season. Here's what I'll say about it, though. I don't think it's all bad. I love Max Johnson. Pause. I like Max Johnson as a quarterback. Brad Johnson's son. Watched him play in high school here in Georgia a ton. Shout out to Oconee County. And pairing up with his brother, going to go do great things. This is a former starting quarterback at LSU. Great touchdown to interception ratio. Past few years, 7 touchdowns, no picks. His 1 year as a starter, flawless, 26 touchdowns, 7 picks. Love everything this kid's doing. He's a big guy. He's stationary as all hell. 6'6", who knows, 230, 6'5", maybe. Maybe he's 6'6" in tall cleats. But I like what Max Johnson can do, man. I don't give up on A&M as a team. Please don't. I like him. Oh, by the way, I'm quoting all his stats. Here they are. Let's see what I got. Oh, I said 26-6, 28-6. It's 27-6. But 8-1, 3-0, 4-0. I'm doing touchdown and interception ratio. It's incredible. His career numbers are out of this world for touchdown and interception ratio. How do they not have career numbers? Here we go. Stats. Career numbers. 42-7. Could you imagine if a quarterback went out there and threw 42 touchdowns, 7 picks? He'd be in New York for the Heisman. 60% completion percentage. Anthony Richardson could never. This man's nice, man. A&M, you're going to be okay. Trust, you're going to be okay. Max Johnson is him. What'd I say, 6'6", 230? Oh, look at that, 6'6", 230. All All right, let's talk about transfer portal. I usually give you guys transfer portal updates all the time in the offseason, like every day. But since it's not that busy right now, I have to wait and let it build up. But what do you know? The 26th and the 27th go ham. What's today? Today's the 27th. So we're right on it. Look what happened. So Alex Washington jumps in the transfer portal out of Boston College. Look, Boston College lost 3 guys to their secondary this offseason. And one of them was Josh DeBerry, second-team all-conference ACC corner. He's starting at A&M right now. Josh DeBerry's playing great. So they needed secondary help, and they went and got Alex Washington this past offseason. He's a graduate transfer. He's from Harvard, for crying out loud. He's from Harvard. And if you're going to see people jump in the transfer portal, this is the week to do it. And I'm going to explain why. It's because you can maintain your red shirt. You could play in 4 games and still keep your red shirt. So you play in 4 games and you say, I'm out this piece. Let me go. And that's what all these young men are doing here, these 4. But Alex Washington was in the rotation. He played. He had like 2 tackles on the season. Wasn't much. He's not getting enough playing time. He's from Alabama. He played at Hoover. He's from Hoover, Alabama. And I don't know if he played at Hoover. He's from Hoover, Alabama. But the point is Alex Washington is a quality young man. He's got 1 year of eligibility. Where does he want to go? Graduate transfer, where does he want to go? Got to go somewhere where you can contribute and play. Obviously, going from Harvard to Boston College is tough. The level of competition is, boom, elevated. And then the same can be said for Jaden Wood and Hentz here. I think Woods and Hentz, they're both jumping in like they're teammates, right? They obviously are. But the difference is Woods probably didn't belong at the FBS level. I watched him play at South Gwinnett here in Georgia, and Jaden Woods never impressed me. Now, he was a 2-star kid coming out of high school, and he's been there a while. Never really played. He's been there for years, like since 2018, 2019. Just finally just said, I'm out. Think he should be at, the FCS level for sure. For sure. Rashad Hintz, this guy, same thing. Been there a while, but he's from Detroit, Michigan. He's a 3-star kid. But when I saw him, he had an offer from Cincinnati, and then he chose Akron. I thought he made the right choice. I was like, don't take that Cincinnati offer because you're probably not good enough to play there. It's the only Power 5 school offering you. Go to a Group of 5 school. He might need to be at FCS. Jaden Woods, I remember now, he was at Eastern Kentucky at the beginning, and he transferred to Akron. And the most surprising one is Devontae Houston. I know he's frustrated. He backs up Rosa, right? Rosa, the main running back at UConn. But Houston, I promise you guys, is a good player. He rushed for 126 yards this year against FIU. Like, he went out there against FIU and played great in a loss, but he played well. 19 carries, 120-something yards. 6.6 yards a carry, Devontae Houston. And then you go after that game, and you don't get any carries the next game. Against Duke, they just played Duke, right? 1 carry, 2 yards. You thought you were going to be the marquee back. After the 3rd game, you just got 100 yards. And the coaching staff just throws you back on the bench and pretends like they don't know you.
Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance.
I don't know where that's coming
In fact,
from.
it's so easy. It reminds me of a joke my mate told me.
I apologize, guys. I don't want to copyright violation. I had to just close the window. Sorry about that. Panic mode. That never happens. Back to what I was saying. Devontae Houston actually played a lot of, he didn't get any carries the first 2 weeks, but he played a lot of football against FIU. I think he knows he can contribute elsewhere. He's still relatively young. I think he's a sophomore. So he's got 2 years of eligibility left. Going to keep the red shirt. Going to roll out, whatever it is. Intends to enter. When they say intends to enter, they're not in the portal. Teams can't contact them. They got to wait till they get in the portal in December, and then they can reach out and talk to them. So just remember that, okay? So that's your transfer portal update. Congrats. Today, we're talking about the American Athletic Conference and the Big 12. All questions, American and Big 12 related. Remember, if any question is anywhere near an MVP lock, it will not be discussed out here in the open. MVPs, you have your own live stream on Saturday. We'll be breaking everything down Saturday morning. If you have a question about a lock and you're an MVP, write it in a comment on a YouTube video that's locked for MVPs, and I will reply in due time. I promise. I get around to it. Hang in there. But don't send me a DM. Please don't send me a DM with your question. When you do that, there's so many of you and there's so many DMs, I can't answer them. If you put it out in the open in a comment, somebody else might have the same question and we can get it answered for everybody across the spectrum. Or you can just hold it till Saturday. All right, let's talk about the Americans. So firstly, Thursday, Temple at Tulsa. This is going to be a really interesting game in regards to contrast. Temple throws the ball every single play because they got E.J. Warner, Kurt Warner's son. They have no other offensive threat. They have no other way of playing football. They just gunsling it and sling it, and they lose a lot of games because of it. They punt really fast or they score. Tulsa, on the other hand, has severe quarterback problems. Braylon Braxton, their star quarterback, got hurt. They brought in a freshman, Cardell Williams. He's a redshirt freshman, and he's not getting it done. He's one of the worst passers in the conference. And Tulsa's defense is decent. Their coach is great. But, my goodness, they leave a lot to be desired on the offensive side of the ball. It's just a rough game. It's going to be rough to watch. But it's Thursday night. I'll probably give my take and my assessment for TikTok, and they'll all say, this was an MVP lock Rico missed. They don't know what they're talking about. Saturday, UAB at Tulane. MVP, won't talk about it. South Florida at Navy. I got to double check. I don't think this is an MVP lock. I think I can talk about it. Give me a second. Yeah, I'll talk about it. I'm just going to say that South Florida is very improved. I like everything they're doing with Byron Brown, and I hope more people are giving them credit for what they're doing. 1 second. Let's Control F this. Navy. The spread is 3.5. South Florida's an underdog. I like South Florida in this game to win the money line. How about that? I like South Florida to win that game on the money line. I could be talking crazy, but that's how I feel. Might not go on the chart, but knee-jerk reaction says I like South Florida more than Navy. Boise State at Memphis. MVP, I can't talk about it, I'm pretty sure. Boise State at Memphis. I think I can talk about it. Hold up. I don't see it here. That's bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. That is bananas. Yeah, it's not on the chart. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so anyways, this over-under is at 59.5, I believe. Where is it at? Boise, Memphis, 59.5. Yeah, I believe they're going to hit the over all day long. I really do. Boise can run. Memphis can throw. These teams will score. I like this over. I like this over big time, just so we're clear. East Carolina at Rice. East Carolina's offense is struggling, but Rice is great. I really believe in Rice versus East Carolina. I like this matchup, but it's an MVP, so I can't talk about it. North Texas versus Abilene Christian. Abilene Christian's a very good school. Don't get it twisted. North Texas is going to put up at least 30, but Abilene Christian is not bad. I bet there's a line on this. Usually those lines come out later because it's an FCS school. They come out like the morning of. Like this whole chart will be changed on the morning, just so you're aware. Yeah, it's not here. I can just tell by the start time. But just keep your eye out for it. All the FCS schools get their lines the morning of. And then SMU at Charlotte. I just made that an MVP lock. Cannot discuss it. I wish you guys well. I will just tell you that SMU is a very improved team, and Charlotte is obviously tough. I love Biv Poggi. Going over to the Big 12, Cincinnati, BYU. I would say, I think it's a 3-point spread. What is it? Cincinnati, BYU. I don't see it. It's not on my chart. That can't be right. I think the over-under on this game is 49. And I want to tell you guys, or 50. I want to tell you guys that it's one of the first games being played. Hold up. It's at noon. There you go. It's 48.5. I like that over a ton. Cincinnati had only 6 points against Oklahoma, but they had 400 yards of offense. You got to believe in Cincy. Cincy's going to actually score. BYU scores as well. They go back and forth. I like that over. I liked it at 49. It's 48. I'm cool with it. Kansas and Texas, MVP. Won't talk about it. Houston and Texas Tech. Texas Tech's playing with a backup quarterback. I believe I can't talk about it. It's an MVP. Baylor at UCF. I think it's 55.5 on this, if I remember correctly. Where's a green helmet? Show me a green helmet, buddy. Baylor, you said no. Hey, there's no helmet. I still found it. Baylor, UCF, it's 11.5. Oh, man. And 55? I'm gonna talk crazy here, guys. I like Baylor to cover that spread and hit the over. Cover that spread and hit the over. I really do. Baylor can score. Baylor can run the ball. And Central Florida can't stop anybody from running. I just think maybe not the over. Just cover the spread. 11.5 is huge for those two. Hey, pause. Don't clip that. Pause. Holy smokes. Iowa State, Oklahoma. I'm going to double check. I think I stayed away from this altogether. Obviously, Oklahoma's winning the game. But that's a huge spread, 19.5 points. I don't know if it grew. $19.5 still. I think it's going to be. I think it's very, very doable for Oklahoma if they hit on all cylinders and actually do something. We'll see. And then the last one, West Virginia, TCU. I don't want to talk about it. I got to tell you guys that I believe West Virginia is a lot better than people are giving them credit for. Remember, they already beat Pitt. I don't understand how they're double-digit underdogs to TCU. I just don't. I like West Virginia's team. I think they're tough. I think Neil Brown is not on the hot seat anymore. That's how I feel. Sorry for kind of killing the energy of the show while looking some of these things up while we talk. It's just one of those things. I gotta look it up and be accurate because somebody's recording and somebody's gonna say, Rico missed. Rico don't know what he's talking about. Yes, I do. I'm a beast. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna move over to the chat now. I'm gonna be taking all your guys' questions. Remember, Big 12 chat only. You want to be an MVP? Click the link. Go hit join on the channel. Don't use the YouTube app. Use the web browser version. Good luck. Let's go to the top and see what's cracking. What happened to my chat? Oh, no. I hope I'm here for the early chat. I doubt it. Something went wrong. Don't know how far back this is going. I apologize right now. If you wrote something in the chat and it's gone, I'm going to just start with Daniel Henderson. What is up, MVPs and losers? Big 12 Wednesday, baby. Let's go. Mountaineers, MVP, Rico Knows, rolling in dough. Shout out to you, Daniel Henderson. I appreciate you so much, man. Miles Hughes, welcome to it, man. You're an MVP. Congratulations. Steve says, at Evan Kramer, I would pay a couple of bucks for that. I don't know what you're talking about because the chat went away, guys. I apologize. Please repopulate the chat. It went away. I'm somewhere in the middle. Do you think Cincy can come back and get a victory at BYU? I think it's very possible. By the end of the year, Cade Berman says, at the Texas Tech University third-string freshman will see the field. Love the content. Hey, I feel you. I'm excited for it. Let's go. Bobby Albright, what up, Rico? What did you think of Marichal this weekend? Nico Marichal, the quarterback for West Virginia, might have just won the job and never looked back. That's what I think. I thought he played well. Rico shaking these haters off once again today. The things they do for clicks. Keep it rolling. Shout out to you, Ricky Rick. I don't sell out like that, man. I'm taking screenshots of these haters. I got receipts in the future. Good afternoon, Rico. What up, David in Arizona? Connor Formia says, have you seen the Dame headline? Any thoughts if you're going to talk about this at the beginning of the show? Skip over this. Yeah, I talked about it. I don't really care about basketball, man. I don't negotiate with terrorists. What up, y'all? Sorry about that. Can't wait to hear about the American. Yeah, we can talk about it as you guys ask questions. Overall, this week in the matchups, I'm excited to see what UAB can actually score against Tulane, if they can. I love South Florida to try to beat Navy. I'm excited for Boise State, Memphis. That's the real matchup for me. Just two powerhouses from two different Group of 5 conferences. I really don't want to watch the Tulsa-Temple game, although I'm going to watch it. And I think Rice is going to roll over East Carolina. North Texas puts up 40. And that SMU-Charlotte game has me intrigued. There'll be a ton of games going on at that time, so I probably won't see it till later in the week. Just so we're clear. I've been waiting since 6:30 p.m. yesterday. Whoa. Keep waiting, bro. Bobby Albright, Dame Lillard to Milwaukee, Wisconsin sports stays on top. You know, okay, congratulations. Let me tell you guys something. I just remember. Andrew says, I've been waiting since 6:30 yesterday. Let me tell you guys a true story. I have a son. His name is Rico Jr. My son lives down in Florida, and I'll give that man everything. I love my son to death. He's 15 years old. He's going out for the high school wrestling team. I was a very accomplished wrestler in high school, so I want my son to be great. I'm like, yeah, man, you're going to be great. Just go do it. But he's a little guy. He's not like me. And I wrestled after football season, so I would have to cut like 20 pounds. My son don't need to cut a damn thing. He's little. I'm telling you, he's going to wrestle at 103s, something like that. Or maybe 112, the biggest. But I want to give that kid everything, right? He's everything to me. And I remember when the new Xbox was coming out and the new PlayStation came out. They came out in like September. The PlayStation 5 and the Xbox, whatever it's called, I don't know. And we couldn't get any. Couldn't buy them, couldn't order them. No matter how much you wanted to pay, there just wasn't. They would hit a website and then they would be sold out in 2 seconds. And I was pissed. I'm like, what is going on? Cannot get an Xbox. Cannot get it. So for Black Friday, now remember, Thanksgiving's Thursday, so this was a Tuesday. I already had Wednesday off from work. On Tuesday afternoon, I walked into a GameStop, and I said, hey, do you guys have any Xboxes, the new Xboxes? I want to buy the $500 one. And he goes, yeah, we got 5 of them for Black Friday. We got 5 of them and 5 PlayStations. And I said, oh, okay. He goes, but you got to be in line. We open at 6 a.m. on Black Friday. And I'm like, cool, okay. Well, I'll be back. He goes, don't come back at 6. You'll be too late. I said, oh, man. He goes, I got somebody getting in line tonight. It was Tuesday. I said, say what? So I went back to my truck. I drove a Tundra at the time. I open up the tailgate of my truck. I pull out a chair, and I sit by that door. Literally, look like a kook. I sit by that door. I pull out a space heater. Remember, it was cold as hell. I pull out 2 space heaters. I got a 10x10 pop-up, easy up. I had 2 chairs. I think I had a hoodie and a blanket. And I had an extension cord for my cell phone. And I started posting up on Tuesday to get my son his Xbox. And it wasn't on sale. It was just the fact that I was going to be able to get one. People saw me there and started panicking and started getting in line. So there was like 2 other people in line for a PlayStation. And then everybody's out there in pairs and groups and doing this shit and rotating out. Mind you, there's no bathrooms. So I said, I want to eat and drink as little as possible because I don't want to have to use the bathroom. And I think the second day, because I got out there Tuesday afternoon, so through the night, no problem. The next day was Wednesday. I went home. I took a shower, brushed my teeth, and my father got in line for me for like an hour. Well, I went home, did the 3 S's, right? Shit, shower, shave, and then I came back to the line. Spent all Thanksgiving out there, cold as hell. And then more people started showing up for the line, and people would drive by and be like, oh, my God, is this the line? And I say, this is the Xbox line, this is the PlayStation line. And I waited, man. And I bought that kid a damn Xbox on Friday morning. Went home and passed out for forever. It was rough. It was quite the experience. But remember, I'm a senior leader in the Army. I've worked 24-hour shifts many, many times. I've been in the field with my soldiers, who knows how long, in a 20-year career. But I just vividly remember I was in line waiting for that kid to get him his Xbox. And I gave it to him. And I don't even know if he uses it today. But it's something I once did. I stood in line for like 4 days. Not exaggerating. 4 days, camped out. I would just go home, take a shower, brush my teeth, change, come back. 1 hour a day. And then I was in line all day. True story. Good day, sir. What up, Boss Omar? Matt Hammer. Hey, Rico, if I subscribe to MVP, is a month from when I sign up, or is it prorated for the end of September? I believe it's a month from when you sign up, Matt Hammer. I don't run that. You're dealing with YouTube. It has nothing to do with me, but I'm sure somebody else can tell you, but I'm pretty sure it's a month from when you sign up. 1 month from that day. It has nothing to do with the end of the month, I don't think. It is a month from when you sign up. There you go. Kim's letting you know. What's a good family? Oh, what's good, family? Hit the like button. Thank you guys so much. We need to hit the like button. We're all here. Thoughts on West Virginia's recent run of wins, and do you think they can keep it up on the road the next couple of weeks? You know, Ayers, I don't know if they can keep it up on the road for the next couple of weeks, but I only look 1 week at a time. I really like what they're doing. They look good, man. They look prepared for their games. Now, I know they're limited. They don't have star players and home run threats. They just got tough guys, man. But, hey, man, you got to root for the little guy. They're doing the most with what they have. They're competitive. I can respect it. Shout out to Ryan Waggle. Just became an MVP. Congratulations, Ryan. Welcome to the team. Hope you find all the MVP data on the MVP playlist. Need to know your thoughts on KU this weekend. I think that we have a great shot at Texas. Connor Smith, that's an MVP-level conversation. I won't have it in public, bro. You can go watch an MVP video and find out what I think about that game. Can't agree with these hoops takes. David Pham, you don't have to, man. I'm not a hoops guy. I can tell you that right now. I don't watch the NBA, and every single night the NBA finals were on this past season, I did a live stream because I know I would get better ratings than the NBA finals. Yep. Did a live stream every single time the game was on and just talk transfer portal and college football in the offseason because I won't support that shit. I won't watch an NBA game ever. I hate that league and I hate the players. Hate's a strong word. I dislike what they represent. How can one look at UCF's strength of schedule and who they've played and justify their 11.5 points better than Baylor? What am I missing? Nothing, Stephen Guyett. You're not missing anything. They're just assuming that Baylor can't throw because they're using a backup quarterback. They're on their third quarterback. What they don't understand is their third quarterback is their best quarterback, or at least their best chance to win. A.J. Martinez is a former starting quarterback at NAU, Northern Arizona, last year, passed for over 3,000 yards. And they don't know, like Vegas just doesn't understand that kid's pedigree is a decent player. They also have 3 running backs. Baylor has a good team. They can play. They went toe-to-toe with several teams, and then they lose. That's fine. But you don't get to say that UCF's going to smoke them. Why? Have you seen Timmy McClain? Timmy McClain played good. They put up 38 points in a loss or whatever it was. He played good, but they weren't close. Just something to think about. Whoa, Rico. Dame and Giannis are about to be the most unstoppable offensive duo in the league. You're tripping on that one. Yeah, bro, they're going to be unstoppable. You cannot stop me from ignoring them. You can't stop me from ignoring them. I'll never watch them. Ever. I promise. Right now, I won't watch not one game of the Milwaukee Bucks. Not one. Not one. Yo, Rico, do you think Joe Namath is the worst player to get elected into the Hall of Fame? No, Clay Wilson. There's some really bad players in the Hall of Fame, but the least deserving is probably Lynn Swann as far as duration of career. Same with Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis probably didn't belong in the Hall of Fame, and I don't think Kurt Warner did either. And he got in really early and really fast, and it's just kind of one of these things where I looked around and was like, I don't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? But Joe Namath, I mean, he's bad. He's really bad. But there's historical significance with Joe Namath winning the first merger, the first real Super Bowl, right? So, whatever. Yes, he is. Penny is the head coach still. Shout out to you. What up, Rico? I'm going to be a member soon. I just got some business to handle with my old lady and baby girl, but I'm locked in. Kavion, get your life right, man. Kavion, get your life right. Don't make me a priority. Make yourself a priority. Get yourself locked in, man. I know what it's like, guys. I know what it's like. I used to rent rooms off Craigslist. I used to go to Craigslist and rent 10 by 10 rooms off Craigslist because the judge said I had to pay $2,000 in child support and didn't care how I had to live. And then I was out here just tricking. I was buying girls' cars. I was dating strippers, and they're expensive. I was living the wrong life for a while, for at least 5 years, man. I was making poor decisions. But, man, was I having a great time. I was living the fast life. Every night I was out doing something. Terrible way to live. Terrible. I didn't care. I'm like, what do I got to do? I'm never going to be home anyways. I'll rent that room from that old lady. I rented a room from an old lady in like $1 million home. I had my own treadmill, my own pool table. It was a beautiful home. The only rule she had was no social life. You couldn't have anyone come over. But you had access to the pool, to everything. I was lit. Man, I loved it. I would go there, just serenity. Oh, it was great. Had nothing to my name. I was just living out of control. And I was just mad at a judge, right? Get your shit together, man. Don't worry about this channel. Get your shit together. Is Pac-12 the best conference right now? Gimp Show, it's not even up for debate. They are the best conference, and they're going to play each other and beat each other, and then all you're going to see is Georgia left undefeated, and everybody's going to go, oh, you see, we told you SEC's the best. No, they're not. They're absolutely gross. They're completely anemic. Arizona's one of the worst teams in the Pac-12. They could go to the SEC and qualify for a bowl game. What up, Rico? What up, Sean? Matt Hammer, welcome to the MVP package. 6 new MVP members in the first 6 minutes. 6 minutes. 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on. What up, Steve? Hayden Chandler says, what up, Rico? Fun question. How would you turn around Vanderbilt if you were hired tomorrow? Well, first I'd bring them to the Big 12 because that's all we're talking about today. And then I'd tell you what I'm going to do once they're in the Big 12. We're not talking SEC till Thursday. Thanks for the question, though. Just sign up for MVP. Let's go, Rico. What up? Let's go. Where can we post winning receipts? Is there an MVP chat or Discord? There is not, Andrew. What we suggest you do is create a TikTok, post a video, tag me in it, hashtag Rico Knows. Hashtag Rico Knows. Put it on Twitter. Put it on Twitter. Put your winning receipt on Twitter, hashtag Rico Knows. My Twitter is Rico Knows TikTok, all one word. Rico Knows TikTok. I might have 100 followers on Twitter. I don't have time. I don't have Twitter on my phone, so the only time I use it is when I'm in front of my desktop, not working on content, which is like that much in a day. Welcome to MVP. Will Blatz, what up, brother? Congratulations. Drop the AR, could never merch. I know, Jerry, I know. We're busy. TCU would beat Colorado by 20. Without Travis Hunter, TCU is still a decent team. Yeah, that's just absurd to say that a player is worth 20 points. There's not a single player worth 20 points that not playing the quarterback position. Let's be very clear. That pesky little lizard. I don't understand why people still playing running back. I would switch to linebacker after what's happening in the NFL. So, Chris, people are saying, why are you playing linebacker? Why not play defensive end? You guys don't understand this? This is why they had to create this position called edge. You know why they created the edge position? Because of franchise. Because of franchise tags. When you get franchise tagged in the NFL, you get the top 5 paid players average. So if you're an outside linebacker, you do not want the top 5 outside linebackers average. You want the defensive ends average. So there's this sleight of hand where teams start labeling you a defensive end or an outside linebacker. And you're not going to get paid the same. Yeah, I know what you're saying, though. Running backs don't get paid shit. Let me get out of here and let me not be a running back. But how do you think fullbacks feel? Fullbacks can now be labeled as running backs, and you get the top 5 average of running backs. One man's treasure is another man's trash, or one man's trash, another man's treasure. Be grateful you have a job. People play running back because when you were a youth kid, that was the star position. That is where you're at. You get the ball. Youth football, quarterbacks and running backs are still it because you can't throw to these receivers. Steve Hutchinson, congratulations. You are now an MVP. How do you think the Gabriel Arnold package does against Texas? It's an MVP level question. Just because it's coming up. But I will say that I believe Oklahoma is extremely competitive with Texas. I believe that there should be no package. It's just the team itself is competitive with Texas. Rico, when someone is 18, can they bet on spreads? Copious highlights, I don't know your state laws. I remember turning 18, and the first thing I did was went to a casino. Let me think. I turned 18. First thing I did was, I had my own apartment when I was 18, so I lived alone. First thing I did was went to the video store, and I rented adult movies for the first time in my life. I thought it would be cool. I found them really boring, to be honest. I really did. I was like, ugh, I just want to see the plot. What is this? I already know how this is going to end. What is this? It was really weird. I was different, bro. I was like, man, there's no plot here. I remember going to the casino and playing slot machines and looking for a poker table at 18. Where I lived, there was casinos everywhere, Indian casinos. So do what you can at 18, bro. Texas passing yards over 280. MVP questions, can't go there, Edwin. What is the over-under on how many people sign up for MVP Saturday morning? Hey, Cameron, we don't discuss that, but it's always a good day when we have at least 6. At least 6, and we've always had more than 6. But 50 sounds right. In the morning, usually I have about 50. Copious. It depends on your state laws. There you go. What app should I bet? I don't know anything about apps or bets, bro. I don't do that. You think UCF beats Baylor? Edwin Serrano, it's very realistic that UCF beats Baylor. Very realistic. FanDuel. Thanks, Evan. Am I crazy to think Jalen Daniels could give Kansas a shot at any team in the Pac-12 and the Big 12? No, you're not at all. Jalen Daniels is a beast. You're not wrong at all. And so is their coach, right? Leopold gives them a chance at any team in the Big 12. Whichever book has the best line, Copious. That means Cameron Lowe has multiple apps, multiple accounts. Kansas cover the spread, Rico. MVP level question. We don't do it. Anyone want to split MVP with me? I'm broke, but want to support. No, don't ever do it if you're broke. Because the whole point of doing MVP is to gather data for your bets. If you're too broke for $25 a month, bro, that's $5 a week, and then you're tipping me $5. That's all it is. $5 a week, and you're tipping me $5. It's like the cheapest information you'll get in the whole wide world. You're buying a magazine with information in it for $5. It's easy money, bro. And then everybody hits and wins. At least all the MVPs do. Louisville, North Carolina State. I just took it off the MVP list only because it's going to be a Friday night game, so I'm going to talk about it in depth individually on Friday. And it's not the Big 12. So you're asking an ACC question, Carson Pecor, and if you wanted to know about an ACC game, you should have been here Monday. Go watch the live stream. It's there. It's posted. Go to Rico Knows. Go to my homepage here on YouTube. Go to live. Click the live tab. Go look it up. ACC. You'll see it. Heard y'all were Saints fans. Who dat, baby? J. Jeff, we are not Saints fans. My significant other is a diehard Saints fan, and her license plate says who dat. And her Cash App is who dat Kimmy. But yeah, who dat trying to beat them Saints? Baylor quarterback, though. Yeah, Baylor quarterback's fine. A.J. Martinez is him. Trust me. I study. What's good, Rico? What up, Mateo? Chat just jumped on me. I'll catch back up to you guys. Give me a second here. Hit the like button, peeps. Thank you so much. Come on, guys. 5 likes, but 86 people watching. Yep. We got way numbers down. We got 100 people watching over here on... Oh, my numbers are frozen on my screen. I can tell you that right now. It says I started streaming 4 minutes ago. We got 100 on TikTok, not even joining the live stream. We got 100 people who don't get us paid. We don't get paid from this. Hit the link. Join us on YouTube. The Baylor backup looked better than the starter to me. There you go, Legal Hustle King. You're paying attention. UCF quarterback makes me nervous. Nah, Timmy McClain's real. He's good. Texas thumped KU. MVP conversation. What have you seen from TCU? What have I seen from TCU? Every game. Every game. Shout out to Irvin Humphrey. Now just became an MVP. Congratulations, Irvin. Do your thing. What have you seen from TCU? That's it. What's your NFL picks record? Digital L. I think I'm 1-0. I don't pick NFL games. I don't even watch NFL games, but I'm 1-0. I said whoever plays the Panthers is going to lose. I don't care, man. NFL games are boring to me. They really are. MVP package. Shout out to Fevs. Congratulations, you're an MVP. Thinks we will learn a lot about how Texas plays with pressure. Have they matured enough to focus while looking forward to OU? Trap game, trap game. You said it, trap game. Y'all got to look at the heading. It's not ACC or SEC day. He won't answer those questions. Shout out to Jerry. Jerry knows what's cracking. Petition for Rico to do a commentary on the Republican debate tonight would be funny ASF, what Steve was referring to. Well, I'm not political. Like, I've been a senior leader in the Army for the last 20 years. I just support whoever's in charge of the free world. But I can tell you guys that I can't be on Fox TV, bro. I'll get in a fight with everybody. I hate liberals and I hate Fox TV, so figure that out. I just like Rico. You don't want me in there. I can't listen to those guys talk. That's real. I'm not trying to be divisive. I'm just letting you know. I dislike anybody on either end of the spectrum. Doesn't work for me. What up, Rico? I don't have a predetermined thought process on situations based upon my political affiliation, right? So I don't wake up in the morning and go, hey, what do we think about this? What do we think about that? I don't get down like that. So if a whole crew of people say we think like this, that doesn't mean I do. I don't agree with anything they're saying. I have my own mind. Free thinker. What up, Rico? My good friend today was telling me that from everything he's seen, he is confident Texas will be winning the national championship. I know you don't often look into the future and usually go week by week, but do you think Texas has proved enough for people to be confident in them? I still like teams like Washington to have a chance, but I'm not sold on anyone. All right, I don't give a shit what your friend is or who your friend is. Get new friends, bro. You got dudes just walking around just saying they've seen enough. You could win the conference and not go to the playoffs. You could win your conference and not go to the playoffs. Every other team could be undefeated. What are we talking about? Side note, my friend is not from Texas. So what? So people who aren't from Texas but pick Texas are magically telling the truth? That's that shit people say. And this guy says, OU winning the Big 12. That's what people say. Shout out to Lewis Henton for Roll Tide Roll. They're always like, well, I really like LSU, and I'm a Bama fan. Don't be doing that shit. Don't try to give me your opinion on something and then give it more validity by telling me you would never say this because you're a fan of another team. What does that mean? That just means you're dumb, you're ignorant, and not giving me the right answer because you're a fan of another team? You just magically will give me the right answer now? That's crazy. I think you're really good looking, but I'm gay. That doesn't even make sense. So cool to see your MVP numbers growing. Life-changing, my man. Thank you so much, Braden Metzger. It is, I can tell you guys that right now, it is life-changing, and I'm here for it. Cade Bearden says, I'm not an MVP, but I know TTU backup is not it. Bet all your money on Houston. Don't be giving out betting advice. We don't do that. But do you bet all your money, Cade. Leave everybody else out of it. I wasn't really impressed with Rashid Hentz in high school. Damn, Connor, I didn't know you saw him in high school. Ryan Waggle, MVP package, congratulations. Thank you for your service. You're welcome. I got paid. I got paid for my service. You're welcome, though. Do you think Leopold could be looking to leave Kansas this offseason, or does he have more to prove? I don't think he has more to prove. He's flipped that roster. The reason he would leave is because Michigan State comes calling. That's it, man. You can't blame a man for chasing more money. I live 10 minutes from Morgantown. Damn, you live in West Virginia? And every time I bet on UV, on West Virginia game, I lose. Legal Hustle King. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. We here now, Big Sarge. Okay, Ryan Waggle, longtime follower, big West Virginia guy. Oh, we got these guys back to back. Appreciate the objective insight into the squad there. It's been a rough go the last few years. Yeah, all off season. The number one topic from a West Virginia follower was Neil Brown's on the hot seat. Let's get rid of him. And I reminded everyone, Ken Kendrick is the top booster for West Virginia. And Ken Kendrick believes in Neil Brown. That's why they haven't fired him. Ken Kendrick makes those decisions. He owns the Diamondbacks. So he's not going to get rid of Neil Brown. He's the one who hired him. He's also the guy that kept Rich Rodriguez from going to Bama. He's the reason Alabama got Nick Saban. So you can blame Ken Kendrick for all the Alabama national championships as well. Rico, you see the Prime video where he reads his text convo with Travis Hunter. Matt Agnew, I watch every Colorado video. I don't miss many. I saw his text conversation where Travis Hunter was saying he's ready to come back and he wants to play, and then he told Travis, get better. Right? This is not more important than your health. So yeah, I saw the video. I didn't feel like making clickbait. I didn't think it was worth telling. Day 3 of the live, loving it. Thanks. Shout out to you, Cy Underwood. We do this every day, man. It never stops. This is my job. What do they represent? Listen up, 39. When you write a question like that, you have to be more specific. You know I'm going to get to it later in the show, so you got to be, who is they? You got to define they. What? Right? Why? Then he wrote why. I don't understand. Rico, I know you don't watch other creators. I don't. But I watched a guy who was like, Joe Namath is garbage, and he compared his stats to Zach Wilson versus Zach Wilson. I compared his stats to Zach Wilson. Wait, was that you? Yes, it was. I did. Hey, Rico, huge fan. Did a presentation in my business class on you. Keep going. I'm going to be an MVP real soon. Krish Vyas, thank you very much. I hope it went well. Hope you sold me and did your thing. Keep spreading the word. Brett Morford, when will we see Mike Gundy removed from Oklahoma State? Big fan of Mike, but time to go. Yeah, Brent, I made a video this offseason about coaches on the hot seat, and I kind of shocked everybody because in my first video, I put Mike Gundy on there, and everybody was shocked because I saw the departures from Oklahoma State, and I thought, yeah, he's just out of touch with his team, and they need a new voice, and they need a new message. That's just the reality of the situation. They need a new message. He's going to do the most with what he has. He's going to do well. He knows how to structure a program and do things right in the offseason and development and all that, but it's not there. It's time to go. I highly doubt they fire him while his son's still the quarterback. They're going to lose him and his son. I don't care. It is time to go. Hopefully sooner than later. We'll see if they lose every game. Rico, who is the best college football player you've ever watched? It's Randy Moss. Randy Moss scored a touchdown in every game he ever played. He scored 28 touchdowns his sophomore year and 26 his junior or his freshman and sophomore year, 28 and 26. So what is that, 54? 54 touchdowns, scored a touchdown in every single game. Randy Moss was the most dominant player I've ever seen on the collegiate level, and it ain't close. And it's not close. I don't care about Barry Sanderson's 2,688. I don't care. I've seen running backs go for over 2,000. I haven't ever seen a wide receiver do what Randy Moss did. You know, when Randy Moss was at Marshall, he returned kicks. Yeah, candy cane stripes, Randy Moss against Montana in the snow. Find that game replay somewhere. It's on the internet. National championship when they were 1AA before they moved up to 1A, and he still dominated and ended up in New York, third place. Pay attention. Randy Moss, most dominant player I've ever seen. You got to make a Discord. No, I don't, Davis fam. Why are you trying to dictate what I'm going to do? I don't need to make a Discord. I don't want a Discord. If I have a Discord, then I have to maintain who has access to it. Then I got to make more people handle it. I don't want any part of a Discord. People want to pay me through a Discord. I don't need that. I'm living my life just fine. How do I become an MVP? Andrew, go watch the video. When you go to my YouTube homepage, the video plays automatically. When you go to TikTok, it's a pinned video. It can't get any easier than that. Texas Tech favored. How? They smell this year. Houston head coach Dana is probably going to get fired soon. Not necessarily. Houston just won. They beat Sam Houston by a good amount, and they're getting into conference play. So you got to see how Houston does first before they're going to get fired. You're just guessing, Derek. You're just guessing. You don't know. Now, Dana Holgorsen leaves a lot to be desired. I get it, but you're guessing. Texas Longhorns going 15-0 national champs. Hey, look at Joseph. He's very impartial. He's very impartial. He does this shit every day. Comes in here and just gasses him up. Chat just jumped. Bear with me. Chat jumped. Bear with me. Sorry, guys. What just happened? Am I crazy? Jalen Daniels. We got a new member here. Give me a second. Kavion James Ragland. Dude just got everything figured out. Said he got to get his baby mama right. Congratulations, you're an MVP. Zach Wilson. Sorry, guys, we're getting there. You talk about Thursday's slate. Texas, 45. Let's go back. There we go. Kavion. No, we got to get our shit together. Our little boy, our little one about to turn 1. This betting stuff is just fun entertainment to me. My girl and me are on the same page, and when it comes to changing our life. There we go. Congratulations. Congratulations. You remind me of my uncle on how analytical you are. Man, that's cool. I hope I remind my nephews of their uncle. Texas 45, Kansas 7. Look at Joseph talking crazy. Mash says, did you already talk about Thursday slate? Mash, I don't talk about Thursday slate till Thursday. So tomorrow I'll be making videos for YouTube and posting a video for the MVPs. Everything will happen tomorrow in the morning. I got to double check lines, injury reports, but I handle all that tomorrow. Irvin Humphrey, once again, welcome to it. Jerry says, when I was 18, I was drinking on base in the Navy clubs. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive, Jerry. Congratulations. Thieves, what weakness have you seen from Texas? Xavier Worthy still drops passes. He's explosive with the ball in his hand, But for whatever reason, he still drops passes when it matters most. And if your star player in those moments is going to drop the pass, it can really come back to bite you. That's my biggest issue with Texas. My biggest concern. What's up, Rico, new member, and you have been great to my pockets. Thanks, my guy. Shout out to you, CD Montana. I hope you got deep pockets, bro, because it's going to keep going. Muckular says, what up, Rico? Came over from TikTok. Your picks on TikTok last week won me a lot of money with parlays. Thank you, Scuba. Shout out to you, Scuba. I'm adamant. Don't give me credit for your betting strategy. If you did parlays, that's on you. I don't suggest any such betting. I don't get down like that. I just provide information. I want to make this very clear. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving you guys gambling advice. I am providing information on teams. You guys are applying it the way you do. Congratulations for being a hell of a gambler. Steven, I appreciate you. Bobby Albright, what do you think about Matt Campbell's future? Matt Campbell's future is dim as fuck. It's dim, bro. I think that man should be fired. A lack of institutional control is how I feel about it. Winning only 4 games last year with a very competitive team should have equated to more wins this season, and they look anemic. They're struggling. I don't like Matt Campbell's future. Not at Iowa State. MVP peeps. I'm here, was running errands, having an awesome day. Thank you. Shout out to Willie Bobo. Anyone want to give me a lock for this week? Dude, give that kid a master lock. Is it about to be Jalen Hale's time? That is not a Big 12 question. That's an SEC question. That's tomorrow. Hey, Rico, I would really appreciate it if you told me about quarterback Julian Lewis and wide receiver Chris Henry Jr. Are they diamonds in the rough? Lorenzo, what rough? What rough are you talking? You're talking about 2 of the most sought-after recruits in the country. Why do I have to talk about them? There's a million websites talking about them. This is why I talk about no-star kids and 3-star kids. I don't give a shit about Juju Lewis. I watched that kid play for the last 2 years now. He's already got offers to everybody. What am I supposed to say? Every major program threw him an offer. Chris Henry is the son of an NFL player, lives with Pac-Man. Going to Ohio State like his sister. What are we doing? Diamonds in the rough. NFL and NBA has become so politicized. No, Daniel Henderson. NBA is extremely politicized. NFL's not there yet. Not the way the NBA is. Shout out to Adam Silver. I just shoulder check that dude. I think you're really good looking. I never thought Texas would win it all. I just wanted your opinion, and to be honest, it was what I assumed. By the way, how did Kim feel about the Saints choke in the 4th? Man, keep my girl's name out your mouth. Don't worry about how she felt. And don't be talking about Kim choking. That's all me. Thoughts on Graham Mertz this season? Graham Mertz is not in the Big 12. But thanks for asking. LMAO, Todo, Chapter 80th. There you go. Chapets. Todo chapet. Hey, man, I read it wrong. I read it in English. Hey, that's my bad. Hey, chapete. Hey, do you think the Big 12 will be less respected next season with the loss of Texas and OU? You see, Bobby Albright, that's the shit they're going to do. But remember, they have a TV contract with ESPN. They're going to do their best to prop them up however they can. ESPN will change the narrative. But right now, yep, that's what's going to happen. Politically, media-wise, they're going to assassinate that conference and try to marginalize them. You'll see. Joseph Villalon, their fan base. Oh, the biggest weakness for Texas is their fan base? Shout out to you, Steve. Evan says, Kansas getting the upset this week. Congrats. Big 12 is a new group of 5 conference starting next year without Texas and OU. That is not true at all, Joseph. You are absolutely ridiculous. Kansas not even crossing the 50-yard line more than 4 times. Became a subscriber on TikTok that equal MVP status. Derek Barker, not at all. Do not be a subscriber on TikTok. TikTok it's like $6. TikTok gives me 2. TikTok gives me 2 of those $6. They keep it all. Do not be a subscriber on TikTok. I don't recommend it at all. How many subscribers I got? I don't even know how many subscribers I have. It's irrelevant to me. Don't do it. No, if you want to be an MVP, you got to go to YouTube. It's $25 a month, man. Kansas is garbage. I watch their games. Okay. That's a very Texas biased take there, Joseph. Yeah, Joseph's out of control. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't hate on West Virginia. Come sometime and you'll fall in love with it. Pepperoni rolls, country roads. Daniel Henderson, I drove through West Virginia to go on a date. I drove up to Ohio. And as I drove through West Virginia, I had to hit a bunch of tunnels. And when I looked to the left and right, I saw a bunch of trailers. And I also saw a documentary called The Whites on Netflix. It was West Virginia. I think they're called The Whites. It's a family, their last name. No, West Virginia is not for me, bro. My people aren't there. My sister went to Marshall when Moss was there. There you go. At Derek, no, it's completely different. Rico is, let's scroll back up. Rico is absolutely correct about Randy. If you saw it, you know. Kansas is garbage. Besides the Nevada game, they've looked really good to me. Was surprised how they handled BYU. Yeah, he's talking crazy. Kansas is not garbage. Thoughts on Xavier Worthy? I've been pulling for him hard since I first saw him play freshman year. But damn, all these drops are frustrating. Yeah, he can't catch. Great with the ball in his hands. Get him the ball in his hands, and he can just break it. He can go, but he can't catch. Don't even go there. That's his problem. Shout out to Kavion again for becoming an MVP. Bro, I'm with my girl. Hey, shout out to your girl. At least you're with her. A lot of dudes think their girl's at the store right now, and they're not. She's not at the store. She told you she's going to the store, and she goes missing for about 3 hours and comes back with nothing and says, they didn't have what I was looking for. Where you been? I went to Ross, and then I went to TJ Maxx, and then I went to Walmart, but I decided I didn't need anything. You're like, damn, why is your hair wet? Why is your hair wet? Some of you guys live in this life, bro. Why is the seat moved back? The passenger seat's moved all the way back. How tall is he? I don't know. He's like 6'3". Shad Moody, what up, man? Welcome to the MVP package. Texas State was 7.5 favorite over Southern Miss. Now it dropped to -5. Why do spreads increase like that? Okay, Sean, so I don't want to get in specifics about that specific spread because that's an MVP game. But what I'll tell you, Sean, is when spreads move like this, twofold. Everybody assumes Vegas knows something. Vegas knows something. No, it could just be the amount of money put on a game. So let's say I tell you guys, I tell 1,000 people, Texas State is the team to win this game. Go put all your money on Texas State. So let's say 1,000 people go and bet $100. Then that's a $100,000 bet on Texas State. At that point, the book has to move the line just to break even on the game. So although you guys think we don't move spreads around here, this is exactly what happens. I tell you MVPs what to do. People go put real money on those games, and it moves the spread. We move the spread. Nobody believes this, but this is what we do. So when I tell you a group of 5 game that might not be getting much action, and I name it as an MVP lock, people go put money on that game right now, and it moves the spread immensely because there was no previous money on that spread. Okay, so that's number 1. Now, number 2, when spreads move a point or two, it could be weather-related, it can be injury-related, and in this case, I believe it's injury-related. I've already talked about it in the comment. You can go, and we'll have this discussion Saturday morning. Don't worry about it, Sean. You'll be fine. Looks like you were right about Tank Dell, Rico. That boy's a dog. Alan Whitney. I used to get excited when I got things right because I got to prove it, and I'd make a video and be like, I am right. It's every day, bro. I'm right every day. And twice on Sunday. Feel you. Tank Dog. Hey, Tank Dell, the best receiver in the draft. I called it before anybody else. People who go like, I knew about Tank Dell. What are you talking about? Everybody knew about Tank Dell. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. No. It's not that I knew about him. I said he was better than that 3-letter dude. I said he was better than that 3-letter initial dude. I said he's better than everybody. I said he's the number 1 receiver in the draft. Nobody said that. But I did. Good afternoon, Rico. Sorry I'm a little late. You're not late breaking. You're just fine. Y'all hit that like button. Word. Rico, I have a few small schools playing. Can I get your opinion? I mean, the answer is yes. Just put it out there. Man, I'm a terrible gambler, but hearing your live bringing me back to military days, should I have done more than 4 years? It's good, son. I have a real personal opinion about this. You know how everybody walks around and goes like, thank you for your service? And they don't care. If you did 4 years, they thank you for your service because you did 4 more than them, right? I don't look at it that way. In my over 20 years and I'm still active duty right now. No, in my over 20 years of service, I have seen so many substandard service members do less than 4 years or 4 years and out that I don't want to thank them for their service. They were terrible at what they did. And those people are heroes to somebody. Like, they go around and brag about their service. They're the dudes wearing hats. They're the dudes have bumper stickers and shit. And I don't even thank them for their service because I know that a good number of people did 3 or 4 years and were absolutely terrible human beings and needed to go back and pay their taxes. I've come across thousands of shitty people. Criminals. Wife beaters. Drunks. I've come across so many different demographics that get to walk around and say, oh yeah, I served. So when I meet a guy at the VFW, and he's, oh yeah, man, I did 3 years back in the 80s, and then I got hurt. I just look at him and just go, okay, man, we can't relate. I've been a first sergeant for the last 3 years. I've been kicking people out of the Army for being fat and abusing women and children and driving drunk. Like, I'm telling you, man, I just can't get down like that. I'm different. You don't move me there's veterans, there's combat veterans, and then there's retirees. That's the levels of respect that I have for certain people. Call it what you want. I'm just being real. I'm a retiree. I'm a combat veteran. I'm all those things. So, I don't know. Some of us did more than others. My socks did more for this country than some of those guys. Just keeping it real. How many more offensive linemen do Colorado need to land to be taken seriously as a conference winner in the future? So when you say land, you mean develop or find in the transfer portal or in recruiting? You need 5, bro. Well, offensive line is not rotational. Every position group on the field in college football is a rotational group except for quarterback and offensive line. You want your offensive line to be your 5 starters. You want your quarterback to be your starter. And you don't the backups don't really matter now. If you have injuries, obviously you need depth, but you need at least 5 really good ones. So give me 5 good ones before anybody respects them. That's how I feel about it, personally. All other position groups rotate like crazy. We're talking about defensive backs, linebackers, defensive line, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. Everybody rotates except for offensive line and the quarterback. Arnell James, shout out to you, brother. Thank you for becoming an MVP. Welcome to the winner's circle. I feel you. What's your plans for the MVP package after the college football season? So, Bobby Albright, my plans are UFC picks. UFC picks will be the pick 'em moving forward after the football season. I will pick fights. I'm really good with picking MMA fights. I want to tell you, I used to live stream in the offseason all the UFC fights, and I would pick the winner. I don't want to exaggerate, like 90% of the time. I have to just learn what are the other bets. Like, I guess you have to bet the duration of the fights. I can just do money line and tell you who's going to win the fight. I am an MMA expert. I used to fight MMA. I am a martial arts instructor. I'm an all-Army fighter. I've been doing this for over 20 years. I used to teach martial arts for a living just earlier this year. I just quit in February because I didn't like the amount of time I was on the mat. But it wasn't worth it. I'm so grateful that I did quit because I obviously get paid more doing this. But it was a real job. So that's the plan, UFC fights in the offseason. And if we lose people, we lose people. That's part of the deal. Texas and LSU are the most complete teams. Okay. I don't agree, but thank you for sharing the information with us. In the preseason, I loved LSU. They were number 4 in my polls, the top-ranked SEC team. I think one of the more complete teams that you're not mentioning is Michigan. Michigan is a complete team. They don't do anything flashy, but they're a complete team. They have very few holes. Kavion started crying. Do you see Texas making the playoffs? Oh, you guys are laughing at something. Do you see the Texas making the playoffs? I don't try to predict who's making the playoffs. LMAO, does Texas... Whoa, chat just jumped. Bear with me. Does Texas Tech get an upgrade with Morton starting at quarterback? Not at all. A lot of people have been waiting for Morton to be the starting quarterback, but you were waiting because he's not better than Shuck. Like, he's just not better. He doesn't have any upside over Tyler Shuck. I think he needs another year of preparation. He's not terrible. He's a good high school quarterback. I watched him a ton, but it is what it is. Shout out to my sister, Off the Beaten Path, Philippine Adventures. If you guys want to see what 2 Army retirees are doing in the Philippines, that's my sister's channel right there, Off the Beaten Path. Good to see you, sis. Love you. Mash says, with the way Kansas has rebuilt their program, do you think they will emerge as the new powerhouse of the Big 12 with the changes? No, Mash. For me, K-State, Texas Tech, they're both poised to be powerhouses, and another one is Colorado. Colorado is poised to be relevant in the Big 12 next season, for sure. Obviously, all the Pac-12 teams that moved over. My dog, Rico, what's good? What's good, Varys? The Whitaker family in West Virginia. Oh, is it the Whitakers? I thought it was the Whites. Is it the Whitakers? Thoughts on Brandon Lockhart? I've talked about him in the past. I want you to go find a video. Go find a video on Lockhart. Good luck finding it. Maybe search hashtag by team name and then Rico Knows, and it should come up. Shade Moody. Congratulations, you're an MVP. Just became an MVP. Excited for the rest of the season. Let's go. There you go, Hammer. Shout out to you. Nah, I can't say the N-word, y'all. Just don't know how to handle things in the bedroom. That's why they be worried about where their girl's at. No, imagine those guys who think they're handling it, and they talk all that shit, and then you're sitting right there. You're like, man, why'd your girl text me when you're not around? I've been around a whole group of dudes where a dude's talking like he's handling it, and his wife is texting everybody on the low. And he's bragging. Oh, yeah, I really slayed it. I really threw it down. Dude, these terms ain't even – you're not doing it, bro. You're not doing it. She's texting everybody on the low. Just letting you know. I've been there. Been there, seen it, done it. Are you kidding me? Hit that like button. Shout out to Willie Bobo. I appreciate you. Do you think Venables is the right guy to lead OU going forward? He's going to have to be. He's their coach. I think he's fine. We'll see. He's been waiting for this opportunity for a long time. We'll see how he does. Thoughts on Joshua Kelly, who transferred from Fresno State to Washington State. I talk both those conferences on Friday, Mountain West and Pac-12. So you can bring that back on Friday. That's when I talk Pac-12. I've talked about Joshua Kelly already many times. Talked about him on Sunday. I've made videos about him and everything. The whole spread increasing and decreasing from Rico was so evident with the URA game. Started off in minus 17.5 and finished at 24.5. Yeah, you guys. I tell you guys, go bet on a Rhode Island game. Yeah, you can't do that if it's a FCS level game. There's not a lot of money on it to begin with, and then I put it out on a video, and the shit just goes boom, and everybody goes, Rico, the line moved. You did the line, bro. People are listening. Thanks, Rico, for all the insight. Welcome to the new MVPs. Enjoy the ride. Thank you very much. What up, Rico? Haven't been to the shows in a while. College and work are kicking my ass. Dude, handle it, Nate. Who is your favorite player in the Big 12 that no one is talking about? Let me see. So the way to do this for me, I'm going to go to seasonal leaders. I'm going to open it. And pardon the noise in the background. Kim is starting to throw down in the kitchen. She's cooking dinner. Let's go to the Big 12 and see who nobody's talking about. Everybody's talking about all the quarterbacks. DJ Giddens nobody talks about, which is crazy. He just put up 200 yards in rushing this week. I like DJ Giddens a lot. Stutzman should be on everybody's list for a Buckets Award. Best linebacker out of OU for 2 years in a row. Austin Booker, man. 3.5 sacks. That's a transfer from Minnesota. Shout out to him. Transfer from Minnesota to KU. Upgrade in their talent. Kobe Hudson looking great. Congratulations to Kobe. Andrew Anthony. People talk about him a little bit. Yeah, everybody's talking about everybody, but for me, my favorite player that nobody's talking about, I like Ollie Gordon. C.J. Donaldson's carrying West Virginia, former tight end, moved to running back. Everybody's kind of out there. Dawson Pendergrass, there's a guy nobody talks about. I'll just pull him up. I bet they don't even have a picture of Dawson. I knew it. They don't even have a picture of this freshman, bro. This is a freshman at one of the deepest running back rooms in America, Baylor. He's 6'2", 219. He's white. He's a white running back. He's at Baylor. Nobody's giving him any love, but he put up 111 on Long Island. He's the third-string running back. You got to trust me. Dawson Pendergrass is nice. He's nice. That's a guy nobody's talking about. He'll be good in about 2 years. Great question. Do you know anything about why Spencer Sanders left OSU to sit the bench at Ole Miss? Yeah. So, Bobby, I do. I actually have sources on this one. I talked about it in the offseason a ton. You know, when they said there was a quarterback battle at Ole Miss, I laughed and I told everybody, no, there's not. Jackson Dart will be the starter, and everybody attacked me. Why? So he failed the physical and couldn't transfer to Auburn. And then Ole Miss promised him, we'll sign you. Come on over to Ole Miss. We'll sign you. And they didn't give him a physical, and they just accepted him as is. Then when spring ball started, he wasn't able to compete for the starting job. So what you'll notice is after they got him, they realized he was injured. That's when they got Will Howard in the portal first. And then in the spring, they signed Austin Simmons, the high school junior, the guy who skipped 2 years of high school. And he's there right now. They went and signed other quarterbacks. They started offering other quarterbacks in the transfer portal. They were asking for them to take preferred walk-ons. So finally they went and got Austin Simmons, reclassed him as a recruit, so he's initial entry scholarship. And then he can count against last year's recruiting class or this year's. And that's kind of how they did their sleight of hand. But Ole Miss knew Spencer Sanders was never going to be the guy for them. Yep, I'm surprised. They were expecting him to leave the program. He didn't leave because he's got a scholarship. He's staying, right? Get your free money. But that's what happened with that. So it is what it is. Thoughts on Deshaun? Oh, by the way, the reason why players are going to Ole Miss and sitting the bench is because Lane Kiffin does not care about your feelings. Lane Kiffin's running a business. And Lane Kiffin's idea of fairness and all that other shit, he don't care. Lane Kiffin says, yo, we're going to put the best 11 on the field. I need the best 85 on scholarship. Michael Trigg just left the team today. I got to make a video about it, but they just lost Michael Trigg. They lost another DB. Bro, Michael Trigg just came from USC. He played in all the games this year. Both of them did, and they're gone. They're gone because they weren't utilized against Bama, and they're mad or whatever. 4 games, they're out. Ole Miss is just recruiting the hell out of people, and if you don't play, you don't play. They don't care. They're getting studs and just putting them on the bench. It's crazy. I'll tell you that Charlie Weiss Jr. rubs me the wrong way. Charlie Weiss Jr., I think he's the quarterback's coach or the offensive coordinator or both for Ole Miss right now. Rubs me the wrong way. He's just a little, I don't like guys who got their job from nepotism. And I know Lane Kiffin got his job from nepotism. I get it, and I like Lane Kiffin, so I don't want to be hypocritical. But Charlie Weiss Jr. just comes across as like this little spoiled brat to me. And he's out there smooth-talking kids into scholarship offers. Come to our school, we'll play you, and they're not playing people. Thoughts on Deshaun McCullough? Deshaun McCullough transfer, he's a stud. He's a little skinny, but transferring from Indiana to Oklahoma, I like him a lot. If you guys saw my preseason transfer portal rankings, I expect so much from Deshaun McCullough. Let me show you. I just got to make sure I don't ever reveal certain things, but let me show you this. Right here, he was number 4 on my defensive top 50 transfer portal players. Number 4. It's how I felt about him. Stud. Love Deshaun McCullough. Thanks for the question. Glad you know who he is, Casey. Arnell James, thanks for being an MVP. How is Kansas able to recruit and build a good team? Meanwhile, Nebraska has been talking about this is their year since Tom Osborne left. Both places are boring. So, Troy Stewart, I've talked about this many, many times. First and foremost, Nebraska did not fall off the map after Tom Osborne left. Tom Osborne, for all his years in Nebraska, his worst year was 9-4. So, they were always better than 9-4. The worst year was 9-4. With 9-4 being the standard at Nebraska, you had Frank Solich hired right after Osborne, and Frank Solich was there doing his thing, and he had a pretty good year in there, and he had pretty good 2 years. And then they didn't want him anymore. So he went to Ohio, right? And then the next coach was Bo Pelini. And Bo Pelini, I believe, went 9-4 back-to-back years, which is the standard. We just need you to be at least 9-4. And they felt like they deserved more. And they got rid of Bo Pelini. And that's when they went and hired, who's the guy? His name escapes me right now. He sucks. McChrystal? Not McChrystal. McCarthy? Was it McCarthy? Something like that? My God. And that guy was just gross. And he was losing everywhere. And then after Bill McCarthy, right? Bill McCarthy? McCarthy? After that, they hired Scott Frost to fix it. The reason Kansas is able to be successful, Leopold's really good at developing players. Leopold brought an understanding that he was going to recruit MAC players. Like, he just know he's coming from Buffalo. He was a winner in Buffalo. He knows how to win in Kansas. Kansas is easier than Buffalo. And he started convincing certain players to get to Kansas and flip the roster. Improve the talent. Bill Callahan. My bad. Dude, thank you so much. Bill Callahan. I said McCarthy. Who the hell am I talking? I'm thinking about the Cowboys coach. Bill Callahan. Sorry, guys. I never make mistakes like that. It's just a lot in my mind. All off the top of the dome. So here's the problem. Your boy Leopold starts recruiting correctly, flipping the roster and doing better. Scott Frost was not ready to flip Nebraska because what did Scott Frost do? Like, he went to UCF, inherited a good team from Josh Heupel, inherited a good team, and what did Scott Frost do? Well, he recruited Florida. If I remember correctly, his pipelines were in Florida. All his best players, Florida. He's at UCF. They go undefeated. And when he leaves, he goes to Nebraska, and the only pipeline he has is Florida. You can't get kids from Florida to go to Nebraska. There's a bunch of other SEC schools, Sun Belt schools that they'd rather play at. They don't want to go to Nebraska. He's still trying to recruit Florida. Then he got a bright idea. He hired Mickey Joseph, the recruiting coordinator / wide receivers coach from LSU. And the wide receivers coach from LSU who got all those great LSU wide receivers is Mickey Joseph. And he got Mickey Joseph to come over to Nebraska, and Mickey brought some Louis with him. Brought Trey Palmer. In the NFL, 1,000-yard receiver. He brought Trey Palmer with him. Brought DeColdis Crawford. And he's like, man, is this guy going to get me Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson? Because that's who he just got. All these studs, right? J-Mo and shit. He get some other guys. But the reality is Mickey Joseph can't bridge the gap for you when you're not recruiting Texas. You got to recruit Texas. So I hate talking about Nebraska because it's not a Big 12 school in today's Big 12. But I will tell you that the last recruiting class Scott Frost had, he only had one player from Texas. And it was a player who missed his entire senior year. He's a quarterback now. He just transferred down to Incarnate Word, UIW. But you can't go a whole recruiting class in Nebraska and ignore Texas. Matt Rule is doing the exact opposite. Matt Rule is ignoring Florida and getting all his players from Texas, which is what he should do. You can convince players to go to Nebraska from Texas. You got a chance now. So Matt Rule went and hired Texas high school coaches to be his position coaches. He hired guys from the Texas coaching board. Now, one of them had to resign, right? But Matt Rule knows what he's doing. And he's a much better coach than Scott Frost when it comes to rebuilding programs from the ground up. So Nebraska should be fine moving forward. But that's really what happened. Kansas knows what they're doing. Leopold knows what he's doing. Shout out to the Fire. Me too. Boise State covers spread against Memphis. There you go. Good job. Will you watch UFC 296, though? Alex Harif, I will not watch any UFC until after the football season. I'll be very clear. Memphis pass defense is terrible. Boise doesn't throw, though. Boise's a terrible passing team. All they do is run. Gentsy's their rusher. And Taylon Green's another dual-threat quarterback, but he doesn't throw very well. UFC Live's going to hit. They always do. Cy Underwood, they always do. Did them many, many times. UFC picks coming soon. After the football season, guys, in the offseason. Rico, I'm a big fan of yours. Can you tell the world that USC shouldn't be at 8? That's not a Big 12 question. Got to be Luke Grimm or Kobe Bryant. Hey, Luke Grimm, Kansas wide receiver, former 2-star out of high school. I made a video about him. Luke Grimm is real. You better ask somebody. Texas is going to know about Luke Grimm. LFG, let's go. Rico Knows. What up, All Things Purnell? Shout out to all the MVPs. What up, J-Law? Hey, people think MVPs don't exist. Duke Moneyline, that's an ACC question, Connor Nee, and that's an MVP level question. Do you like Xavier Henderson against BYU this week? Yeah, I mean, I like Xavier Henderson against anybody. I hope they can get him the ball. I like Xavier Henderson a lot. Shout out to them. Canelo, chat just jumped on me. Canelo going down this Saturday. Oh, I don't watch boxing, guys. I don't give a shit about boxing. If Canelo's going down, he must be doing some oral sex. I don't know anything about that. Rico, I need your picks for this Saturday. Baby Nut, you don't need them bad enough. Nut out that 25. Anyone got a best pick in the chat? You can ask them. They ain't going to give you shit. Rubs you the wrong way, pause. The thing about it is, guys, is MVPs, no, we don't talk about MVP picks in public. I'll pull your card real quick. We don't talk about MVP picks in public. Hey, Rico, do you think that the transfer portal is ruining college football? DeMilk, you are absolutely ridiculous for writing that to me. Go watch my content. Go learn about the channel. I love the transfer portal. It's saving college football. It's saving entire programs. It saved Tennessee and USC last season from going from 3-win teams and 4-win teams to being nationally ranked. It is revitalizing programs like Colorado, Texas State, Florida State. The transfer portal is everything. It won LSU a national title. It's giving kids back their careers. It's allowing coaches to rebuild programs in less time than they've ever needed. The transfer portal is everything. Rico going to buy my girl a boat. Arnell James, careful. Do what you do. Instead of begging for picks, just buy MVP. What trajectory do you think the Patriots are taking? They aren't locking players long term. Look, is Bill on the hot seat? Bill is never on the hot seat. He can retire on his own terms and do his own thing. I have not assessed any NFL team in their trajectory, so I apologize. But I did look at their draft class, and I love their draft class, just so we're clear. The $25 is completely worth it. If you know what you're doing, you're making that back with like 1 to 5 picks, depending on how much your units are. Correct, Andres. Most people make their $25 back the very first night, like on Thursday. You never lied. That's a fact. Pelini, Bo Pelini curse is real. They slandered him on the way out. There you go. Whew. Leopold also led a dynasty at Division III level. Shout out Wisconsin Whitewater. Shout out Wisconsin. Bobby Albright is a Wisconsin homer in every which way. I'm letting you guys know now. Please don't forget the name. I know all you guys and who you're rooting for. Shout out to them. I ain't mad at you. Arnell doing your thing. Give me a second here. My 2 $5 bets paid for MVP for the rest of the year. Shout out to you, Brian. Rico, what do you think about Jaden Reed? Dude looks like a stud for Green Bay so far. Bobby Albright, do a search. Hashtag Rico Knows. Hashtag I think Jaden Reed. You might get there. You might get there on that alone. But go check my NFL draft playlist at the top of TikTok before all the videos. Go to my homepage. Before all the videos, at the very top, there's rectangles. Bunch of different playlists. Scroll till you find NFL draft playlist. And go in there and start looking around. I got videos on Jaden Reed. How about their quarterback? Who's they, dude? By the time I get to your comment, I have no idea who you're talking about. How about their quarterback? Who the hell is there? What up, Rico? What up, Drek? MVP in here. Let's go. What up, Dylan? Shout out to all the MVPs. Why did OU use Marcus Major when there are 3 running backs that are better than him? So when you're comparing two things, Case and Ivy, you want to use THAN, not EN. So they're better than him, right? You're comparing those guys to him, than him. The way you wrote it, then him and them went for a walk. Then him and his daughter went for a walk. You get what I'm saying? You wrote it like a suggestion. Anyways. Wrong version of the word. Here's the deal. Coaches make decisions, and we know nothing about it. Sometimes they'll play players who aren't better than you think because of practice performance, maybe punishment. Maybe he is better than the guys you think he's not better than. It could be a blowout. It could be an easy win, and they want to give another guy playing time. Bama did that, right? Bama started playing all different quarterbacks against South Florida. They didn't care. They were just trying everybody out. It wasn't like they were better than them. They just wanted to see them in a live game situation. So some things to think about. First week in MVP, I'm slamming the locks. Big money plays, bro. Be careful. Be careful, Purnell. Don't bet them all. Some of them miss. Be careful. Wait for Saturday when we talk about it. We go in depth. Should Emory Jones have stayed at ASU with Dillingham, or was Cincy a good move for him? I think Cincy was a good move for him. It let him get with some other teammates. he needed a new beginning, and Dillingham didn't bring him to Arizona State, so there was no allegiance to him, right? He couldn't stay there. Dillingham never picked him. You want to go where you're wanted. So for him to go to Cincinnati, at least he knows he's wanted, and they picked him, and he's starting. He would have went and not been starting. That would have been bad news. My bad. Chat just jumped. I never thought about it like that. Maybe Rico does know. Shout out to the Milks. The Minks, the Milks. Yep. Kim over there boiling water. Kim is not boiling water. Kim is dominating. We do HelloFresh 5 times a week. So Kim's over there being a chef. Just letting you know. Yeah, the Milks. I could tell that you came in here to say the transfer portal was terrible and ruining college football, but it's not. It's saving entire programs and schools. What are the locks for Thursday night football? We won't talk about that till tomorrow, Nicholas. And there's TikTok locks, and then there's MVP level discussion, and I'll post both videos tomorrow. That's my primary job on game days, so I'll be doing that on Thursday. Not Big 12 yet, but how do you think ASU will do in the Big 12? Obviously, so soon into Dillingham's tenure, but outside of the USC game, they've looked awful. Scatterboo, South Carolina straight transfer, only bright spot. Yeah, I think they're going to be fine. They got to recruit well, win the state of Arizona. They haven't been doing that. Herm Edwards did not recruit Arizona well. Every top player in Arizona left, even guys like Bijan Robinson. How do you let that guy get out of your state? I'll never know. So just recruit better in the state of Arizona. Phoenix has great high school football. Win. Get a bunch of kids from Bishop Gorman. Like, ASU will be fine. Trust. What do you think about Kalen Barnes getting cut by the Steelers at teams not willing to invest in his potential, or does he just not play corner? Once again, I don't assess every transfer or every team move in the NFL. I'd have to go back and look at the roster, see what's going on, but I don't have an answer for you right now, Spooky G. I apologize. I'll probably look into it. If you see me again, hit me up. We'll see what happens. How did Dante Moore automatically start with like 10 other quarterbacks? That is not a Big 12 question. ASU will be fine in the Big 12. Giving those life lessons on TikTok was legit, to be honest. Shout out to you, Cy Underwood. I do my best. Rico, what's the best weapon in the U.S. military have? Well, the best weapon is, we call it a 50 cal. I would say the 50 cal is the most undefeated weapon out there. The 50 cal is what you see on turrets. A sniper rifle is a 50 caliber weapon. 50 cal is where it's at. It's probably the best quote unquote weapon. There's others, but you know, I'm a weapon. I'm the best weapon. Nice being on this side of that MVP question. Shout out to you, Trey Williams. Go watch the videos. How do you think SMU's transition to the Power 5 will go? Flawless and seamless. They got money for days, and they got talented players, Bobby. They can compete in the Power 5 right now, any conference. I love SMU's roster. I really do. Hey, guys, I just want to remind you, don't talk sports with your friends. They don't know what they're talking about. I closed my audio. That's not good. I remember I freaked out. So let's go back to that. Just thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. If you're not an MVP,
From time to time
sorry
in
to
my
hear about
dreams,
it.
I do this for you.
Hope you guys have a good night. Be great.
Finally
Keep
clean,
supporting us.
no longer a
Peace, y'all.
fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife, and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for you.
All the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside. That's why I do this for you.
I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife, and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for you.
All the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside. That's why I do this for
I
you.
do this for the kids who sit a bit outside the mix, who maybe cope through humor just to fit in for a bit, who never let the world know when depression's setting in. To all of those who know you, that impression don't exist, and it ain't counterfeit, it's just a way to counter it. I'm living things I dreamed about, I still encounter it. It ain't something that a cigarette or alcohol can fix, but all because of it, I flipped it quick, went on to write some hits. This a success, off another breath. This the first step in searching to be nothing less than be the best in what you do to prove their strength in being you. Learn so much in chasing dreams that I never would in school. Depends on where your passion lie. Just no passion never lie. Life presents distractions, but your actions have to fortify. The things that you believe in have to scream it like a battle cry, and leave the ones who didn't looking stupid while they're asking why. Couldn't lie, I really do this for the ones I love. Those who treat the music as a vice and lyrics like a drug. Those who need advice on how to lift their spirit high enough to break out of the box they make of lives they know aren't good enough. Just because it's how it is don't mean it's how it has to be. This is what the uninspired testifiers fail to see. Jealousy results from being that which others fail to be, and if it means you're not with me, that honestly sounds fair to me.
I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my